Hey guys, about another product that I really like and think everybody should have. Um, these are, I got these at Harbor Freight. They're Hardy 9mm thickness nitrile disposable gloves. So you can throw them out if you want to. You might actually get a couple of uses out of these. That's kind of cheap, but these are the thickest ones that they sell, and I will tell you they definitely do stand up to some rugged use. I like using disposable like nitrile gloves when I'm doing work, especially stuff that's messy. It's gonna get my hands gross. Yeah, I'm a working man. I have dirty hands. Most of the time I do, and sometimes it just gets a little ridiculous with trying to scrub them out all the time. Sometimes you get dirty hands for days, and maybe you have to go somewhere that night, wearing a tuxedo or something, and you don't want to get your hands messed up. Or maybe you just don't want to be touching those chemicals and, that kind of thing. But they do protect your hands a bunch. They keep them clean. So why the thicker ones? Why did I want the thickest ones? Most nitrile gloves that I've had, I don't know if maybe it's because they got older or whatever, but the thinner ones, I find if you start wrenching on something, they're gonna break on you. They just rip just out of the blue. You'll be in the middle of a swing with a wrench and they'll just pop off, and then you have to stop and go and change them. These ones haven't done that to me yet, except for one time I was cleaning a carburetor, and I don't know, either I stretched them too hard to get them on, and that might have been a failure, or maybe it was the solvent in the carburetor cleaner that weakened them. But between those two things, it could have been either one. I don't know. But that was the only time I had one of these rip, and I did do some pretty heavy duty wrench turning with these already underneath somebody's car, and they didn't break. So I think these are between $10 and $12, somewhere in that price range. So it's not very expensive. These are the most expensive ones they have. It's because there's so much rubber. With that, you get 50 gloves. They're extreme heavy duty. They have 3 sizes, I believe. I bought the smallest ones because I have tiny hands. Not thinking that these are made in China for Chinese people with their tiny hands, I guess. I don't know, because these mediums, I usually wear small gloves, like at work and stuff. I work with radiological controls at work right now on shore duty, and we wear gloves all the time, and usually I'm wearing like the tiny ones, like size 8, size 9. I like a good tight fit for dexterity. You can really, it's like you're not wearing a glove at all. You can grab little screws and tie knots or whatever. You can work with small things if you have a nice tight glove. But these are kind of too tight. Definitely good dexterity, but you can see I have small hands, and these fit like a glove, but they're a little tight, tighter than I would like. But I do get that good dexterity. I might buy or keep these. I might buy them again or get another size up, but I will keep these just because of that fact. I like the dexterity purpose. You can really grab some smaller things and work with them, but getting these on sometimes is a pain, because they're so tight. You can do the trick where you like blow air into them and stretch them out a little bit, but then that's going to pre-weaken your gloves, and I'm not a big fan of doing that. One tip I have that I know from working with electrical safety gloves, something we would always do on the boat with those is we would get some standard Johnson's baby powder. It doesn't have to be Johnson's, just baby powder, talcum powder, and powder up your hands. What this will do is it'll act as kind of a lubricant so that you can slide your gloves on much easier. And then while they're on, because these are non-porous, they're a seal, your hands are going to sweat. Mine sweat all the time. My palms get extra slippy. So that's another good thing for these, it's grippy. But yeah, this eats up the sweat and keeps your hand not as gross. So this is a good tip if you're gonna have this. What else? Oh yeah, this guy. This is the magnetic glove dispenser that they have available at Harbor Freight. Sticks on your toolbox. I'm a fan of it just because it gives you somewhere to put the box. You know, if it wasn't for this box, it would be on a dirty shelf somewhere. You know, it would get buried in things. It would get smashed and wrecked, and oil and stuff would get all over it. And you know, you get contaminants in there, and it just wouldn't be as nice as it is to put in here. You can see in here they have wall screws. You can, you know, mount it on the wall if you don't want to use the magnets. If you don't have a toolbox, you can still use it. Hell, you can even stick it on your fridge. It's magnetic, anything that's metal. You could just do that if you wanted to take it out and put it next to your car. Maybe you're working on your vehicle and you know you're going to be changing out your gloves a lot, or painting or something, you know, for contamination controls. You want to keep your hands nice and clean, clean surface on your fingers. You know, if this is in question, and you're painting something, you want to rip them off, put on a fresh set, but you don't want to be running in and out of your paint booth or something. You can get one of these and either, you know, mount it on the wall or stick it on some metal surface you have in your paint booth. So that's pretty neat. It has these spring clips in here, which I'm going to show you that they're absolutely useless. I mean, I could bend these in a little bit more to touch the box if I wanted to. It does its job in this vertical position. It holds them horizontally, but I'll show you right now, actually. So you take your box and you slide it in there, and already you can see the problem. It's not designed to fit their box. So if I was Harbor Freight and I wanted to sell my gloves in this box together, I would make it so that, you know, it fit the box that your gloves were in there nicely. So that's why the springs are useless. You don't need these spring tabbies. Maybe if you have if you get different branded gloves, I don't know. These are cheap, and they work really well. So this is what I'm gonna buy. I would like one that fits the box. I wouldn't mind it if it fit in here because, I don't know, maybe it's not gonna come out, you know, but you can turn it sideways and it does. It comes right out if you turn it sideways. So what good is that, Harbor Freight? What good is your holder if it doesn't stay in there, you know? We should make things the right size, make it fit. Make it work properly. Don't make your customers angry, you know, to somebody that might matter. So I would like that to fit better. If you could make one that does fit better, and you'll use less metal. It's probably like a whole inch of metal per each one of these that they could save. You know, and use it on the next one, and it would be cheaper. So that's my gripe about that thing. It works though. It works for what I'm using it for. I'm not frantically ripping gloves out of there. I don't think it's ever gonna like fall out on me, and if it does, it's not really gonna matter to me. I'm not working on rockets or anything. So it'll work. So that thing is pretty cool, and the gloves are outstanding. I like them. They work well. They're durable. I wouldn't buy the other ones. I would only buy these. You're gonna spend a little bit more, but for glove quality assurance purposes, you most likely will never have a rip with this. If you buy the other thinner ones, you're gonna have a rip. Like these are black, so they're like tactical. You could, you know, do some tactical surgery or something. I don't know. So that's pretty neat. That's about it for these gloves. You know, we talked about powder. The thingy that you can get to put it in, if that bothers you and you got some saws, you can make a nice little box out of wood, and then get some like magnets at Lowe's and stick them on there. But this works, and I like it. So that is all. I hope you guys have an outstanding day. I'm out.